Hey guys, everyone. I just need a minute for make sure I think it's working just fine. There is a background music. I'm testing new function, so you let me know whether that is. Let me know whether that is a problem that bothers you if how it is. I just need to make some. Small adjustment. I don't know how it is. Can you always let me know whether. So let me just give you just a minute. I'm very happy that we are. Sorry, just a minute. I'm very happy that we are here again. I'm very happy for this. I'm very happy for this extra this more one live. This now you come back again for the lives about artificial intelligence. You gave a small break to talk about the topic that they are more related to what you may call PC here for you. So, yeah, it's better. So the topic I have talked about was more related to how more related to the academic work. Since I have a PhD, I spent a considerable amount of my time on the academia. So I have a parallel project, which is the idea of the project to help people to to get along on the academic work. So there are some kind of tips, some kind of support that I like to give people on this concern. This project is in Portuguese, but we also have articles in English. So if you are interested understand how the academic world works, that can be a very nice project. So definitely let me know your thoughts. So we are back again talking about artificial intelligence. So if you see the sequence of life, there is a sequence of life for the future. Each life, we talk about a different topic using sci-fi, using movies. I enjoy a lot when Hollywood show any kind of movie talks about science. So artificial intelligence has been very cool, especially after the Terminator or this kind of sci-fi movie. I think they are very nice. I do enjoy them. I think creativity, imagination is a very important part. All the scientists I know, they had when they were young, they have a very active imagination. So even though some people say that sci-fi is a very bad, give very bad reputation to artificial intelligence or any kind of science, I think that's not totally true. I think that's very important for you when you are young. It's very important for you when you are not very familiar with the tricks, with all the so it's a very important to have this kind of moves. I do enjoy it. So I know that you have to be always careful. That's one of the reasons why you have the sequence of life. The sequence of life to help you to separate what is very fun, what is Hollywood, and what's reality. Some movies may be very, because you know that life is not very fun. It's not very. Movie is a way to let the imagination go wild. So, my job here on the sequence of life is to help you to understand the limits between reality and fiction. So you can enjoy the movie, but you still can like have the kind of maturity and kind of intellect to know that that's not totally true. Such as when I was in high school, I remember a kind of discussion about the Superman, how Superman was real. One example that they gave is that no one can fire light from their eyes because their eyes they take light in, they cannot take light out. So think the same way. How can we take the sci-fi movie like it took like the kind of Superman? How can you make sure that you are not getting tricked by effects and by actor, but still can have fun? I think it's a very fun to understand. Today we are going to talk about a little bit more realistic here. It has to do with computational thinking. What's computational thinking? What is the how computer think and how computer decide? I mean, I want to talk a little bit about this kind of. I wanna talk a little bit about this very nice trick. Let me show you if I have here a. Let me see if I have here a video. Here I'm making improvising. I'm not following the protocol. I'm just here trying to share it because I was talking to someone on Twitter. And this person said something that caught my attention. So I decided to create a video for him. Here I'm going to show you a video. Defeated. And what so the question the video compare some moves of Pelé with modern players. So the question that I was discussing with someone on Twitter is how far are we from this? I think you are very far away. The Barovec, I think Paradox, I also forgot his name. He says that a robot or machine or artificial intelligence can do very easily some kind of thinking task. Chess is a thinking task. So surprisingly enough, chess is easier to replicate. Not that it's easy, but it was easier for artificial intelligence compared to soccer. However, computer is unable to be as creative as Kasparov was. So the creativity of Kasparov was not totally replicated by machine. There is a movie called the Age of AI, in which they explain another case, which was the case of Go. Go is a Chinese game. So the Chinese were big on their own game. So they say that was when China decided to enter into the game. So when China was defeated on its multinational game, it was Go, China decided to take artificial intelligence as a national stuff, as a kind of the government decided to take AI very seriously. So the point is, how far, suppose that Brazil as well has to be defeated by AI to take it seriously, how far are we from defeating Pelé? I think we are very far away. because the kind of intelligence that you need to make like a computer play like Pelé is a huge amount of moral vision, coordination, spatial movement. So we are very safe. So that means that you can apply the same token. The same token can be applied to medicine. So if you think about medicine, the profession in medicine that very likely to be replaced by machine, they are related to diagnose, such as Dr. House. Dr. House can easily be replaced by machine, even though it's amazing. Dr. House, a very fiction that is alive in the future that we're going to talk about Dr. House. But Dr. House is closer to be replaced by machine than he is, say, a surgeon, which has to use his hand. So the closer we are to moral skills, like surgery, any kind of medicine-related test that you need to use your hands, that you need to use your body, the chance is pretty low that they are going to have there's a so if you try to think about medicine, you should always think about should always think about let me see now it's but the point is that you have to compare how far the task that artificial intelligence has to do is close to moral fact. So Kasparov was defeated because it's like it's computation. It's called the Moravec paradox. But Pelé, which is a soccer player, is like a moral fact, moral movement. So computer has difficulty there. So that's the reason why when you think about medicine, you should always think about how far they are from morals, from movement, how far they are from use the movement of the body. So that's what you should compare when we talk about motor movement. So let me show you a slide. Let me show you a couple of slides which I have prepared. Just a minute. So today we talk about computational thinking, how computers think, decide, and learn. First of all, I want to invite you to consider my book. I have a book called Computational Thinking, in which I have tried to summarize for you all this kind of thought that I have. Here you can find our page, official page. In the official page, there is some kind of live. This live here is part of the official page, so you can go there and you can have the opportunity to maybe to find some thoughts that you are interested. I have another book as well, which is older, which I have decided to select some Medium. Medium, if you do not know, Medium is a website for independent writers. So I had decided to organize some of my essays from Medium, which was related to computer science. So some of them was about artificial intelligence. Also, in this book, you have as well some selection of my essays on Medium, which was part of I have that as a kind of attachment to the book. So the next invitation is for you to consider my project called AI by SciFi. This live here in the past lives, in the upcoming lives, is about AI by SciFi, which is a way to talk about artificial intelligence using movies like Netflix. If you like to watch movies, you can as well keep sharp you can watch the movie, have fun, but still can make sure that you're not tricked by Hollywood and so. So this is the official page. So you let me know If you enjoy this page, and this page is about thoughts, life, and so on. All the lives are organized on this page that I mentioned before. There is a music that I like called from Black Beast. It's called like they said, oh yeah, that's right, I'm a monster. I'm the monster society created. I'm the thinking they blame me for recession social problem. I'm the scapegoat. If humans don't want me, why they did make me? I'm a phantom of fresh fantasy. A machine with soul in agony. Is there anything left to say of me? Be my remedy. All I want is to feel your love break through. Every piece of my heart belongs to you. If a kiss will kill, we will paint a flawless view of a moonlight red and rose. It's about artificial intelligence. I think you should see the song. The song, there is a very nice move in which they show a kind of human interactive machine. It's a very nice song, which there's a very nice video, a clip associated with the song. So, computational thinking is a process by which computers think, like for humans. So, if you are not sure what is computer thinking, we are always confused because people tend to think that computational thinking is all about artificial intelligence, but it's not. Any algorithm that is able to think, any algorithm that is able to separate, to replace human thinking, it's a computational thinking. For example, I'm giving you one example that's not computational thinking, and I give you two example which is a computational thinking. If you organize your spreadsheet on Excel, you have an Excel spreadsheet. Then you organize, like you have your Excel spreadsheet here. Then you organize your data on the spreadsheet. That's not computational thinking. That's just such as you are trying to understand your stock market portfolio. You have a portfolio that invests in stock market, and you want to understand how your portfolio is doing. That's not computational thinking. That's just a human organization. However, if you decide to use, for example, Solver, which is a Excel algorithm, and you use it to understand your portfolio, which I have done an example on my other channel, such as you want to make your portfolio to be balanced. So whenever your portfolio is unbalanced, which is a golden rule of the investors, if you want to make your portfolio well balanced, then you can use Solver. There's a very simple way to use Solver to do that. That's computational thinking. That's a very simple. The algorithms are just going to make an optimization. It's going to compare all the weight of your stock. Then it's going to see how far it is from the golden rule. The golden rule said that every stock should be in more or less the same. So if you have an amount of money and you compare the stock market, it should be levered. So this one is very low, you can go up. This one is very high, you can go down. So the idea is that every stock that you have should have the same proportion on your full portfolio. That protects you against the oscillation of the market. So that's a very simple artificial intelligence. There's a very simple computational thinking. There is a fight. There is an intellectual fight in which they are not sure which word they should use. Some people say that artificial intelligence is a very bad name because artificial intelligence gives you the impression that you are creating human artificial intelligence. But artificial intelligence is more than human. Human is not just the one. For example, anti-colony is artificial intelligence based on the intelligence of the ants. There is swarm intelligence, which is intelligence based on birds and kind of how the bird moves. So if you see how they move, they have a kind of intelligence. So they start to use the word computational intelligence, which you can find. I myself start a Master of Science degree. So if you look for the word computational intelligence and artificial intelligence, they are equally important. You should find a huge amount of books and the article talking about computational intelligence and computational artificial intelligence. The problem, in my opinion, which if you see my book here, let me come back to you. If you see my book is called Computational Thinking. So the problem with the word like here, the problem with the word computational artificial intelligence is that it just gives you the impression that you should have a human-like intelligence. You should have like always so intelligence, always like human-like. The problem with the word computational, the problem with the word computational intelligence, which is a much better word, is that you always think about the intelligence in an algorithm like machine learning, deep learning. But as I gave you this example here of the spreadsheet, this example here of the spreadsheet that I gave you, this example here of the spreadsheet, is a very simple artificial intelligence. It's a very simple algorithm. It's an algorithm that uses what's called operational research. It's used like a simplex method. It's a very simple algorithm, but it's not like intelligence in the sense of adaptation. So whenever you talk about intelligence, they should talk about adaptation. So an algorithm that is able to adapt according to the situation is called intelligent. But the solver is not intelligent in the sense because it's like it's what they like to call in what people like to call in optimization. It's a local optimization. It's a very stupid optimization. It can get very trapped easily. It also can be applied just for a specific problem. It's called linear programming. So just linear problem can be solved by a solver, but you can go a little bit smarter. Use like generic algorithm. You can use evolutionary algorithm to go a little bit better on your optimization. So that's the kind of intelligence. So that's the reason why I think you should use computational thinking instead of use artificial intelligence. Instead of use computational intelligence, I think the word computational thinking is much better because it's a way the computer works. As I said before, computational thinking is a better word because when you think about computers, when you think about human, generally, there is just one way to think. Generally, when you talk about human, for example, why can you teach another human? Why can you, for example, why you have classroom? You have a classroom. The classroom they teach the student because human has a simple way to learn. So it's not even though human can learn in different ways. Even though I myself was very different learner, I had difficulty to learn because the traditional way was not working for me, so I had to invent my own way. But still not very different for the human. However, for computer, there's a huge amount of way to think. So computer is not very limited. So when you talk about computational thinking, you are realize that should not be attached to human. So there is a kind of reflection which I saw in a book about artificial neural network from Simon Hayek. Simon Hayek is a very traditional book. It's a very important book. So in the book of Simon Hayek, he brings to attention a very nice reflection. We were able to fly after you stopped to mimic the birds. The same way, we were able to make very good artificial intelligence after we stopped to mimic the brain. So, for example, support vector machine. It's like far away from the brain. I mean, what the hell? Sorry, I mean for the word, but it's not like human-like. Deep learning, even though it's a little bit like it's a huge amount of layers and so on. Deep learning is a very let me just make I mean it's just I mean here to activate here just a minute. Deep learning is very far away from how the human. The only thing that deep learning has in common with if you try to say what deep learning, the only thing that deep learning has to do with the human is the fact that it's able to learn that has some kind of layer. So we know from neuroscience that the brain is creating layers. So you have this very back part here of the brain, which is a very primitive kind of layer. Then you have the part which is upper here. It's called the cortex. This part here is a new part. It has to do with learning, it has to do with adaptation, plasticity of the brain. But deep learning is that. There is a live with Professor Casabov, which is on my other channel about the mathematical biology, in which Professor Casabov talked about the spike neural network, which is a kind of human-like deep learning. As he explained, the neuron can go very deep. So that's a kind of kind of the neuroscience artificial intelligence. But artificial intelligence is not about neuroscience. I mean, it uses metaphor for neuroscience, but the computational thinking is not about how to mimic the brain. So you should separate what's mathematical neuroscience from what is artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence may learn from neuroscience, but it's not tied, it's not limited by how the brain works. So deep learning is a very example. Deep learning is the most successful artificial neural tool, but it's not very worried about how it's going to mimic the brain. So let's give me 1 minute here. Just need. So that's how the deep learning is not very, it's not close to the. So it's not human intelligence. Should always keep in mind that it's not human intelligence in the strict sense. So if you think about artificial intelligence, should never. That's why I think computational thinking is the best word. So it should not be very attached, very limited by how humans think. So computational thinking is about making computers think. How to think is very different from human. I mean, the amount of algorithm that is behind. If you see a very smart algorithm, if you see a very smart software, the possibilities that you have behind is amazing. I mean, if you do a course, an university course, I did several courses since my bachelor. The amount of way that they make computer think is astonishing. They have bin colony, they have anti-colony, they have simulate annealing, they have support vector machine, they have deep learning. Now they have all the kind of they call the artificial general intelligence. So the richness, the broadness of the learning of computer is very high. We humans as well should think before, because some people say, is there intelligence outside of the earth? People say you should define what intelligence. Human is not the only species that's intelligent. Every species is intelligent. Birds, ants, they are intelligent to the extent they have some problem. So they're adapted to their own situation. So human may not be the only intelligence in the universe. For sure, it's not the one intelligence on Earth. For sure, it's not the one intelligence here on Earth. So you should start learning from every possible intelligence that you have. So that's how artificial computational thinking is evolving. It's not limited to human. It's not limited to how humans think. It's like a very broad set of algorithms that can be from anti-colony, big colony, swarm intelligence, evolutionary, which is based on genetic code. Evolutionary computing is based on how our DNA was able to adapt. So if you make a kind of genetic algorithm, if you want to study what genetic algorithm is inspired by the genetic code, inspired by Darwinian evolution. So that was incorporated into computational thinking. So I'd like to invite you. I have just launched the course. I'm going to leave for you a free coupon. Let me give you a free coupon here. If you want to make my course, I'm going to give you a free coupon. So you just have to use this one here. That's my new course. I'm going to put for you in the chat. You can do my course, in which I'm explaining this on the chat. So you can just say for the course. So, this course here, I'm building a SaltBot. Why specifically SaltBot? Why specifically SaltBot? That is not a specific reason. There are several ways of using artificial intelligence. However, lately, since I'm participating a lot, from social media, I have been impressed about how social media is making moderation. I mean, if you moderate too much, it's bad. If you like Elon Musk he's not the one of Twitter. Elon Musk think there should have no moderation. I don't believe that. I think you should have at least minimum moderation. So the point is that what's moderation and how can you make moderation? Human moderation is very expensive. You think about how many tweeters is like people, they can Twitter every minute. So imagine all the amount of Twitter, imagine human check all this Twitter. It's essentially impossible. There is a case in which I mentioned on my book, which I mentioned on my course, in which Facebook tried to make a moderation of a historical picture. Facebook classifies as a child and nudity, like child is showing the body of the child. It was about the war, so it was a photo taken during the war of Vietnam. So the point is that how can you make moderation? In this course, I'm talking specifically about moderation, the sense of word. So this course is able to spot moderation like a bad name, calling people name. More tricky moderation is a scientific topic. We don't know how to moderate very tricky. I like to call indirect offense. When you offend someone directly, when trying to offend someone directly, the offense is direct. So you know the offense is there. So you know that's what they call bad name, you are a jerk, you are whatever. The bot is able to spot because it's a relatively easy way to spot. But the problem starts to become very tough when you have very disguised, very sad, or very difficult for even this bot he fails to if I say that you are a jerk, I'm offended. The bot is able to spot. But to say that you are not a jerk, you are a jerk, you are not a jerk. The bot is going to spot both of them. But that's not specific on this bot. For example, during the Brazil, you just had an election right now. The election was very, very, very tough. It was very tough. During the election, after the new president won, the people was saying that the election was a fraud, which is not true. So I started to post a video on Twitter in which I was explaining to my followers or to whatever someone that you want to see how the election in Brazil works and how the election in Brazil was not stolen. But I have started to use the hashtag Brazil was stolen, which was the hashtag they were using to make this kind of a false claim about the Brazilian election. I was moderated. My tweet was eliminated. That was the same case for YouTube. And for the Facebook, one time I was moderated. My tweet was deleted because I make a citation of Albert Einstein. I cite Albert Einstein. They said that's not true what I said. So I think the moderation nowadays is pretty bad. On Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube, they are very primitive with moderation. I'm not sure why they're doing that. Maybe because they're not interested. But this bot here is able to spot insult, direct insult. So I invite you to follow my course. I invite you to consider the course as a way for you to start your way on artificial intelligence. I'm using TensorFlow.js. Right now, I'm studying TensorFlow.js. I may come back in the future to TensorFlow.js. TensorFlow.js is a Google technology used to implement deep learning or any kind of artificial intelligence. It could be a very nice way to create very smart web applications. So, guys, I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for your attention. You can always get in touch with me. You can always let me know your thought. Remember, I have, just to let you know, if you are interested in this kind of work, I have a book about computational thinking. On this book, I have used TensorFlow.js, which I have created a very smart web application. I have used stock market. I have used, I don't remember yet what I have used, but I have used web application. I have used JavaScript. So if you are a web developer, I have used TensorFlow.js. I have as well explained some topics, I have explained some limitations. I have used Gasparov as an example. I have used the book of Professor Kasabov, which I made a live with him on my other channel. So I invite you to read my book. The second book was I invite that be more generic. Again, you can let me know your thoughts. That is here on Amazon, this book here. And I have a project called AI by SciFi. This live is part of this project. So I invite you to consider any of my projects. So I think that's all. Again, you have a session my course. If you have any question, you can let me know your thoughts. So get that by mail. So thanks a lot for your attention. So I hope that you had an awesome time. So see you, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the show.